If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Do not go to Texas first. If I could ever teach you anything about the nomadic lifestyle, it's don't go to Texas when you start out your adventure, because if you come to Texas as your first destination, you will not be able to handle the rest of your nomadic adventure. I'm sure of it. You have to learn the difficulties of the lifestyle before you come here, because once you get here, you're spoiled. You just cannot leave. We've been here 5 or 6 weeks to 3 different campgrounds, and we've ran into different life issues, no big deal, but in general, Texas just makes it so easy to be a nomad. I just met a couple that's in their 70s, and they're living in a van. They're from Texas, and they just travel around Texas, enjoying themselves, having a great retirement. They go down the coast and fish during the winter, and they come up during the summer, northern Texas. They've been through a couple different vehicles, but they're just enjoying themselves. And they said, they were talking to us, and they were asking us, well, where we have been. And we said, well, we've started out, last 2 years on the east in Florida and Virginia, Missouri, different places. The lady, she's just like, oh, no, yeah. When they went east, they basically turned around and came back. You just never have the ability to really enjoy the lifestyle, because you're always trying to plan out or figure out your life. What are you going to do next? How are you going to get water? How are you going to find your next place? Even researching Texas, trying to figure out where you're going to go next, no big deal. We ran into some issues here, but they're tolerable. People are very respectable in Texas. They respect your freedoms, your rights to be left alone. They don't come over and try to want to stir up a conversation and expect you to be able to engage in conversation all day. Well, then we went over to this campground on the other side of this dam, and we stayed there, I think, 10 days. They had to flood it out, because of all the rain. So they flooded that side of the dam, which forced us to leave. Well, whoa, no big deal, okay, well, we'll just move. And so we came to this side of the dam, which was like, over the hill. It's just across the street. It's just so simplistic. Everybody was helpful, told me that we could stay over here. When they told us to leave here on the other side of the campground, they said, okay, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, we're going to close down this campground. So they gave us 28 hours notice. It was no big deal. We actually left the night they told us. It was really easy transition. I was able to pack everything up, not a big rush. When we were in Mississippi, they came by at 9 o'clock in the morning and said, okay, we're going to close it down in 2 hours. Bye, get out of here. You didn't have any options. You just had to get up, rush around, and leave. The thing is, when we got to Mississippi, people tell you to trust your gut. Well, my gut the whole time was telling me that there was just something off. I just didn't feel like the National Forest really wanted us there. They just felt like it just felt like they wanted to close it. I don't know why. Everybody we talked to said, yeah, they close it down all the time, just for no reasons at all. So, you just had this uneasy feeling that this is not going to be a good solution for us. We're rushing around, and of course we're traveling through bad weather and tornado activity. Here, it's been absolutely a pleasant, no issues, gave us plenty of time to move, found a location right across the street. We're right close to town, resources are available. It's just been wonderful here. So we get to this campground, we've been here almost 2 weeks. Yesterday was some really bad storms. We had some really bad storms come through yesterday. Again, I was not concerned. Normally, I'm really concerned about bad weather, but here I wasn't. We got a storm shelter, which is the bathrooms. We were close to town. There was a tornado in the area. We knew that there was a siren that was going to go off where we could go into the bathrooms. The trees here are real healthy, so there was a nice windbreak. It was also a nice hail break in case the hail fell down on our camper. Another thing I find interesting about Texas is the police and law enforcement, the rangers, the police department, that kind of thing. They really don't bother you. They patrol several times a day. They always wave and they just move on. They don't stop and talk to you and wonder what you're doing and how long you're going to be here, how long you've been here, where are you from. Well, every time that we've had to talk to someone, a law enforcement official in the other states It was always, an inquisition. They wanted to know everything. They wanted to check your ID. They wanted to run your license plate. Heck, even when I was in Missouri, we were camping in Missouri, and the police officer came down at 11 o'clock at night, pulled up behind us, ran our license plate. Obviously, we're camping. We're in a camper, right? They ran our license plate. You can tell that's what they did. Here, they don't even, they just wave and drive on by. But here's the thing. When there is an issue, just told you the other day, we had a guy here who was causing some problems, or at least not doing well mentally, or whatever the case. Maybe he was drunk. Who knows what it was. But the police just showed up out of nowhere. I mean, it was just like miraculous. They just showed up. They dealt with the guy. They came over. They talked to us, and they said, don't worry about him. He won't be back, I promise. And I don't know how a police officer can make a promise like that, but he was absolutely right. He promised that they wouldn't be back. The guy has not been back. Now, this guy has been around us ever since we got to this area, made himself known. But as soon as the police officer said he's not going to be back, he hasn't been back. So even the police officers have an understanding of who's breaking the law, who's not breaking the law, who's causing trouble, who's not causing trouble, who's camping. Here's the interesting thing is usually I can always find someone doing illegal activities around here, doing illegal substances and those kind of things. Everywhere I go, you can tell, oh, yeah, they're doing something. Some of them just do it right out in the open. When we were in Florida, had a camper right next to us, did it right out in the open. Didn't hide it, didn't care. Of course, that makes you feel very uncomfortable. Here, I've not even seen a hint of it. I'm sure it exists in Texas, but I think people at least respect the idea that not everybody wants to watch them do it. Besides that, I would suspect that whatever the magic device the police have here, I suspect if you did something out in the open here, the police would be right on you. As quickly as they just showed up out of nowhere when the guy was causing problems. So again, if you want to be a really good nomad, don't start your adventure in Texas. Go to Texas for your nomadic vacation. It's even hard to make videos because the only thing I can say is it's great. So thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.